What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today we have Tulsa International Airport news for the month of February 2024. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. So welcome everybody to our news for the second month of 2024. I really appreciate everybody's reception from the previous video. Really enjoyed making that and very excited to talk about the news here this month. We still have quite a bit of interesting news, some unexpected changes, some very exciting changes, and so much to dive into in today's news video. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for this, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and get started with some very unfortunate news that I certainly was very surprised to see, but that's going to be that Chief Commercial Officer Andrew Perini has re-signed from his position at the Tulsa Airport Improvements Trust Executive Team. This is very unfortunate news, as if you don't know, the Chief Commercial Officer here at our airport, Tulsa International Airport, does all the air service development work, and you all may remember me referencing Andrew from many videos, including Aviation Day, also the airport updates. So this is really unfortunate news, as Andrew did so much for our community and airport. He was an awesome individual, and I really appreciate all the work that he did. He was with Tulsa International Airport from April of 2019 till February of 2024. Here's his LinkedIn post that he made. So he goes into detail about how he really appreciated the time at Tulsa International Airport and all the amazing people that he got to work with. So that was really cool. And he took a very awesome position as a director at Aviation Pacific Aviation Consulting, which is an air service development company based out of Atlanta. It's a really high profile position and really cool to see him take that. So what they do is they help airports and airlines concentrate in particular fields of air service development with route structure and, you know, how they utilize the aircraft, so on and so forth. So I'm really excited for Andrew, and a huge shout out to him and how awesome he was for Tulsa International Airport, not only interacting with all of his airline partners and various other communities, but obviously, even people like myself as aviation enthusiasts, he was absolutely fantastic for the community, and he did so much for our airport. So that is super awesome that he got an amazing position. I can't deny what he's done over the last 5 years. It was so cool to get to know him, and really enjoyed messaging him on Instagram. And overall, that was a really fun experience. So Andrew, thank you so much for all that you did for Tulsa International Airport, all these new routes that you brought to us, all the new frequencies, the capacity upgrades, and so on. It was so awesome to get to hang out with him, and overall just had a great time there. So really awesome. Super excited for him in his next opportunity. He certainly earned it and deserves it. So super happy for him. And now that leaves us with the question of what's next for Tulsa International Airport with the Chief Commercial Officer. So as you can see, here is the current leadership team, and as you can see here, there's nobody here that really concentrates in air service development, to my knowledge. I'm sure that there's a possibility that multiple people here have contributed, obviously, to air service development, but not obviously as their concentration. So what I'm expecting is, based upon the career fields over here, you can see where the jobs openings are. They have not listed a formal position for a Chief Commercial Officer yet, and this has been probably about at least 3 weeks or so of an announcement. So what I'm expecting is that they probably already have a candidate for this position, or multiple candidates that they have gave exclusive access to interview for the position, and likely one of those people is going to get it, which is really cool. There's a good chance that Alexis or somebody has a person in mind, and that's probably what happened. So I'm looking very forward to seeing who the next Chief Commercial Officer will be at Tulsa International Airport. Hopefully they have really nice knowledge in air service development. That's what Andrew had, of course, working at Southwest Airlines for quite some time, and also sales at Boeing. So he had a well-rounded field of knowledge in the aviation industry prior to his position, obviously, as Chief Commercial Officer. So I'm looking very forward to seeing who the next person will be. Hopefully they are as awesome as Andrew was, and I'll be honest, it's going to be really tough to replace somebody's caliber of somebody like Andrew Perini, as he did an incredible job for the airport. Really gave us a huge momentum over pretty much since the pandemic. Obviously some new routes prior to that, but what he's done since then has been, not to deny what he did previously, but what's happened since then due to his work over his 5 years here was truly incredible, and I can't thank him enough. Once again, he did amazing work. It was so awesome to get to interact with him, and what an honor and pleasure that was. So overall, just really can't express my gratitude gratitude and thankfulness enough to Andrew for what he did. I'm looking very forward to seeing who will succeed Andrew, and hopefully it will be a fantastic person. So looking very forward to it. Andrew, thank you so much. We really appreciate what you've done for the airport, and best of luck with your brand new position in Atlanta. That's going to be absolutely awesome. I believe that's where they're based, what Google said. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But best of luck to Andrew and his next endeavors, as he was absolutely awesome for Tulsa International Airport. So looking very forward to that, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So luckily, that's really the only unfortunate news that we have. We have much more exciting news to take a look at. So let's go ahead and get started here on the Instagram pages. We have some really exciting developments. So let's scroll down to the beginning of the month. So we had quite a few really awesome posts, but the really exciting news that I'm absolutely excited about, American Airlines, at long last, we've talked about this for so much time, has finally expanded their Miami service to a daily service this summer. This will last from June 5th until September 3rd of 2024. So really excited for this. Finally, at long last, Miami will be a daily service, and our Miami demand has been so high as of late, so to finally make it a daily service is absolutely huge, and I'm super excited for it. This flight is going to be operated on the ERJ-175 as expected for Envoy Air, as this flight will leave very early in the morning from Tulsa at 5:10 a.m. and arrive into Miami at 9:13 a.m. And I'll flip it around here so that you can see what the return flight looks like. From Miami, it's going to leave at 9:35 p.m. and it'll arrive in Tulsa at 11:58 p.m. So very similar to what their Saturday frequencies are like. However, obviously now extended to a daily basis. So this is going to be absolutely awesome for Tulsa International Airport. It's so exciting to finally see more service to South Florida, as we don't have any other South Florida service, period. So this is really huge. So obviously Southwest made their move previously with making Orlando a 5 times weekly service, but we can call it daily essentially. And now, of course, American Airlines finally going daily. We have expanded service on Allegiant, obviously, the Destin, Orlando, and Tampa. So overall, it is really exciting to see the huge movements that we have here from our bigger carriers here at Tulsa International Airport to commit to the Florida area with all the tourism that we have there. And American Airlines finally establishing this, but really cool for American here. Obviously, this isn't just for the Miami point-to-point traffic, but rather, of course, all the connecting traffic to the Caribbean and beyond, which is absolutely huge here at Tulsa International Airport. So I'm really excited for this. This will make it much easier. Like, for instance, my family and I, as a prime example, we are going to be going to Nassau soon for a family trip, but the deal with that was we were trying to get a connection through Miami on a Saturday, but it just would not work just due to how much demand there was, and thus on American Airlines the price was super expensive, either in cash or miles. Finally, with this expanded service, it will be absolutely awesome to have the opportunity to connect on a very flexible basis to places like Nassau and beyond. So it's a really big deal for not only the point-to-point traffic, but also that connecting traffic that I'm referencing, like going to Nassau, other places in the Caribbean. So huge, really awesome, super excited for this, and this definitely will give me a really good opportunity at some point to finally get to fly on the Miami service as a part of my Tulsa International Airport flying out every single route out of the airport project, which is getting closer and closer by the day. So hopefully I'll be able to take full advantage of this at some point in the summer and be able to utilize it. So overall, this is really exciting and a great job from Andrew contributing to this, obviously, but obviously the whole airport for making this possible, and looking super forward to a huge expanded service here. It's pretty much a new route essentially, since it's not on Saturdays anymore. So really crazy how late the time is as well, but of course that's in accordance with the Miami Bank to fully utilize the ERJ-175, the one that's flying it obviously to its fullest potential in that day. So overall it works out, and very excited for what's to come here in the near future. And then we do have some really exciting news at Tulsa International Airport. Partners with 3 local artists here with some exhibits, which are between the TSA area and Terminal A, which are really cool. So here's a really nice illustration. So here, or not illustration, a really nice picture rather. Here's gate A3, so it's right off the edge. It's on the other side of the Chili's. So let's take a look here. So very excited to partner with 3 local artists for 3 exhibits. So we have Tulsa International Airport custom coloring book by Julian Singles. Hopefully I said that right, but they made a really cool coloring book, and I'm thinking it's going to be on this link. Let's see if we can find it here. It's somewhere over here. Where is it? I don't see. Oh, here it is. So this is the coloring book that they launched, which is really cool. So if you all would like to see me make a video on this for fun, I would be happy to do it. So let me know. But anyways, you can download this PDF and print it and do coloring with it, which is really cool. So a really fun activity for younger individuals. But as you can see, there's 12 different pages, word search, and overall really cool just to have some variety here for people traveling. So overall, I think it's really cool. So that's really exciting to see. So we do have a new coloring book from the airport. So this one would be kind of fun to work on, exactly like what TUL looks like. So that's really cool. Then we have Bruce Gulf, Tulsa's architect, which is an exhibit here, I believe. And that one shows various architecture deep ties to Tulsa, which is really cool. So you can see they have a state on one of them, which is this one right here. Then they have all these various artifacts and other pieces related to Tulsa, which is really cool. So certainly nice to see more new exhibits. I've seen people looking at them recently when I've been in the airport. So they're certainly gaining views, which is really cool in general. So that's awesome. And we also have Tulsa Tales by Sydney Alstros. I'm not great with the pronunciations. I apologize. But anyways, another really cool piece. So this is under it's the connecting pieces from the parking garage to the ticket counters, and they have these really cool pictures. Actually, I believe it's on Instagram. I got distracted here, so let's go back to that because I believe they posted a reel on that. This one right here. So this is the projects that we're talking about here. So you can see in the connecting pieces where they have this really cool pieces of art now hanging on the wall, which is really cool. And overall, I think they look really good. So certainly a nice piece to look at here when walking between the ticket counter and the parking garage. And I personally don't use this walkway as much because I'm always on the top level, but I'll definitely have to get down there and look at it and get some better pictures of that. So overall, really cool with that part as well. And then obviously some other various projects. We talked very extensively in the last video of this series about Propel TUL. So they posted about that. We also have our various vendors going strong here, which is really cool. We do have a road detour coming up, but that's small. And then they reposted this picture that they posted a couple years ago, which is quite nice, of the Southwest 737 taking off here with the beautiful concourse there to see as well. Trust me, it looks better on the inside than the outside. But hey, it does get the job done, so it still looks really good, I would say, with all the glass and whatnot. So overall, looking good with this. That will then take us into some upcoming events here at Tulsa International Airport, which are really excited via the Tulsa Air and Space Museum. The one that I really wanted to highlight, all these are fantastic. Route 66 runway run is going to be on March 16th. Strange Thing is going to be on March 16th. We'll have Toss and TASM hangar dance, which will be really cool. But Flagship Detroit, obviously the American Airlines doubles DC-3 from that foundation, will be giving rides again as it heads out for its spring and summer and fall outings after winter maintenance here at Tulsa. So it's going to be giving rides on March 16th, which will be a Saturday, and rides will be at 1 p.m., 2:15, and 3:30 p.m., which is really cool. Now, to my knowledge, they haven't done a spring riding session in a very long time. Typically, they only do it when they come in for winter maintenance. So, of course, that's going to be in November typically, like we had the last couple of years. But they are going to do one after so much success. That's really exciting. So definitely going to be taking advantage of this. I'm not sure which flight I'll do yet, but definitely really excited for another DC-3 opportunity, which is really cool. And if you're wondering if it's coming to your local area here in the near future, they still have some announcements to be determined. But here's currently what they have. The St. Louis Air Show is going to be going on June 8th and 9th. And it's going to be going to Daytona Air Show on June 22nd and 23rd. So that'll be really cool. And they haven't got the rest of them announced yet. But overall, really exciting. So looking very forward to this event and very forward to be right here in line with it. So it's going to be super fun and looking very forward to yet another opportunity on American Airlines doubles DC-3. So that should be really cool right there. We've also had some aircraft changes here at Tulsa International Airport over the last month. So let's go ahead and just briefly take a look at this. So let me throw it back here since I loaded this all earlier, went to church now, and then had lunch, came back, and now we can load it up. So not too many major changes, although there is some really cool aircraft notes to designate here. So let me go ahead and find those. So all the mornings pretty much the same. Some days Delta's still sending CRJ 900 on the 3 o'clock flight, which makes sense. It's Tuesday and Wednesday to do that. All the rest of the flights are for the most part the same. And the American CRJ 700 that we saw last time for Chicago is now back on the ERJ 175. So that works. So it's between 2 and 3 times a day, which is very good. And then Allegiant has resumed their St. Petersburg service, which is absolutely awesome. So that resumed a couple weeks ago, and now it's going to be Thursday to Sunday all the way through August. Unfortunately, they did not extend it as of right now into September, October, November. Unfortunate for October and November. I would have expected that like they did last year, but we'll have to see if they change their mind down the road. They have done that in the past previously, so keep my eyes on that. But nevertheless, still looking good for that. So very excited on that. All the rest of these services are the same. United still sending pretty much the E319 from Denver on run the daily mainline service. New York LaGuardia is now arriving rather late at 10:30 p.m. This will be a pretty new change. I don't know what exactly the reasoning is, but personally, I think it makes sense so that you can utilize the aircraft to its fullest potential, and then obviously get it to a place at a later time, because normally it was like an 8 p.m. termination, which this plane could do a whole nother flight with that extra 2 hours. So very smart from American, in my opinion, at least. And then the really big change is that American Airlines is now overnighting 3, not 1, not 2 anymore, 3 Airbus A321s on the ground. So essentially you can call it 3 757s if you kind of want to think about it like that, which is really cool. So the first one that I recently got to take, which was really fun on a Dallas day trip, was this 10 p.m. arrival that comes in from Dallas Fort Worth right here. The next one comes in at 11:55 p.m. also from Dallas Fort Worth. And then the last one is still coming in from Charlotte, but this is for the first time ever now a red-eye flight arriving at 12:22 a.m. So really interesting to see this. Charlotte has always terminated early. The latest I've seen it's 10:30 at the absolute latest previously. This is by far the latest now at 10:30 or 12:30 a.m. I think this is a little late. I kind of like that 10:30, 11 time frame, but I think the loads are still doing really good on it. The morning flight remains unchanged. It still arrives or departs at like 6:45. So yeah, I don't know why they decided to push it back so far, but again, that 2 hours can make a difference for a whole nother segment. So perhaps it goes like Fort Lauderdale or a place like that and then comes back and does this flight. So, but yeah, it's super cool to finally have 3 American A321s on the ground. That's really cool. It's like 3 757s. So it certainly is showing how much capacity American Airlines is carrying through the airport, what they're doing, how successful the routes have been. And overall, it's just really great to see that. So again, a really late arrival for Charlotte here, but it will work until they want to change it up. I believe it's going to be in April when that goes back to a 10:30 arrival. So, but hey, it does the job and people are flying it. So no problem with it, but certainly wasn't expecting them to do that, especially off of the East Coast. The West Coast would be a little bit different, but this is the East Coast, so loads haven't sacrificed too bad yet, so I will keep my eye on it though, as I've only checked a couple times, so I will try to get a genuine pull on that for the next video. But yeah, very interesting that Charlotte's arriving that late, but that's the bank system they want to work with, so it does the job right there. Otherwise, all the other aircraft are pretty similar. This is more March news, but United did just flip over their schedule, and now they're seeing the CRJ 700 for the first time in a while, so that's really cool. So here's this one coming in from Denver, and then during different days of the week, it'll come in the afternoon as well. So it makes a bunch of sense in my opinion, because the 75-seat aircraft usually just have a few seats open, so getting it down to 700 to fully maximize the capacity on that frequency. So overall makes a bunch of sense. So plenty of route news and all that we could talk about too, but what I'll do in this series going forward is I'll highlight it on a monthly basis. But other major takeaways that I'll mention real quick is Southwest next October in 2024, of course, will be flying 2 daily flights to Phoenix, accompanied by all the rest of their flights. That's really exciting. Orlando is going to be on Saturday, Sunday again, so unfortunately not going to be daily during that time, but it's still great to have it on even a 2-weekly basis. I think it makes a fair amount of sense there. Would love to see it daily, but maybe in the future we'll get there. We'll have to see. And Chicago will be going to 3 daily in May, so very excited for that. That's pretty typical, but that is the plan, of course. And United plans to bring back mainline in June to Houston, which will be great, accompanied by the Denver mainline that's year-round. So overall, really good. But United, of course, really trying to balance out Houston, since it was a little overflown previously on the mainline, but I think now we have to demand that hopefully next winter we'll see Houston mainline on a consistent basis, and hopefully Chicago one day as well. Overall, the rest of this is still the same. Salt Lake City arrives at different times of the day, like on Sunday night, obviously arrives then, but last night it arrived obviously at 8:50, if I can find it. There it is right there. So you can see the different times of the day. Otherwise, the majority is the same. We have got several Victory Air ERJ-145s from NASCAR lately. That's not unusual, but this has certainly been many more than what I ever would have expected. There's that Miami flight right there. So overall, really cool. Obviously, some CRJ changes throughout here too, but no major other changes. And shout out Sean Dot Spotting on his Gulfstream that landed in today, 202 Kilo Romeo. So pretty cool. Otherwise, all of this remains pretty congruent, and glad to see the progression. Phoenix is also back to once daily until next month, where it'll go back to 2. So very excited for that. As of April, it'll go back to 2. like halfway through March, maybe. I don't know. The Americans kind of weird on their schedule. So overall, though, really great looking board, and it's all looking very good. Lastly, I have a little bit more news accompanied by some pictures. So I've been in the airport lately, and I've seen some awesome work that they've done here on the play area. This is going to be opening sometime next month, and they're making really good progress on it. This design ended up getting flipped around. You can see right here, but you can see the wood going up, and I was in there just a few days ago, so I can confirm that it's just wood right now. But I think that they'll have all that done probably sometime around spring break, so that should be really good for all the people that are interested in utilizing that amenity. So looking very forward to it. Here's what it's going to look like. So it should be a great area for kids to stretch out. It is between the gates B7 and B9, so should be really good right there. Unfortunately, the Mexican restaurant Ayodel is going to be closing, which is kind of interesting, and that will be replaced by Soskalski's, which I'm kind of surprised about. I thought the Mexican restaurant was honestly really good and a quick option, but we do lack kind of a really flagship sandwich restaurant, and Tarmac is kind of a Mexican, so plus Chili's, so I could see the reasoning behind this, so it certainly works. So here are the other restaurants you can visit in the meantime, but I'm going to assume that this is probably going to take 3, 4, 5 months to renovate. So we'll see how long that takes, but certainly looking forward to seeing how that goes here in the near future as well. And then I just have a few pictures to round out today's news video. One note that I forgot to really highlight last time we were talking about the wayfinding screens at the common use gates is they actually have a background of the city, which is really cool. So you can see this American Airlines flight to Chicago in the background with the spear. I personally thought this was really cool, so that's certainly very nice to see. So you can see how cool these common use skateboards are, and overall they look really cool. So thumbs up Tulsa for a fantastic design on that. And then you can see right here, all three of the American A321s. I was there the other day when I was flying on Southwest, and somehow I got to capture all three of them. So I was very happy about that. The only reason was because the 5 a.m., yes, they're sending one of the 321s out at 5 a.m., which I think's kind of silly. But anyway, this flight was delayed by 30 minutes. So got really lucky to get them all three in one shot. So I wish this went out at 7 or 8 a.m. for better loads, but Americans got to get back to Dallas for whatever flight it's doing next. So, but still very, very fortunate and glad to have 3 A321s on the ground. That's really, really cool. So very cool to get to see all these. I really want to see the day where they line 1, 2, 3 up here at 5, 7, and 9. I really want to get that shot. But for now, we got this one, so that's certainly very good. And the last picture I have is this beautiful sunrise on this United A319, which would be going to Denver a few hours later. So definitely wanted to feature this one as I thought it looked really cool. And yeah, really, really cool. I've been in the airport. It's been bustling. Loads have been really good. I've not had any flights under 70%, which is great. And only just a couple oddball times where I've had any flights under really 85%. So overall, it's been really great for the airport, and it's been going really well. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any other news, but that really was the big round out. I can't thank Andrew again I can't thank Andrew enough once again, excuse me. Really awesome guy, and I really appreciate all that he did for our airport. I really hope that we get a really solid successor to him, but Andrew's going to be very tough to replace with not only his interaction with the airline partners and his air service development work and his obviously all the social media work and all that his team did, but of course, obviously what he did for the community and just how awesome of a guy he was. So can't thank him enough, and really excited for all the new changes. He went out on a bang getting Miami daily in the summer, and then that second daily Phoenix flight coming soon from Southwest. So we're really excited for what's to come, and Tulsa has a very bright future ahead, and I'm sure Alexis, like she did with Andrew, will nail another hire for our next chief commercial officer. So I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. The airport update will be coming out sometime later this month, so I hope you're excited for that, for March I should say. And overall, really great time making this video. Looking forward to March's episode. Hopefully we have just as much news as we did this month, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. Also, the F-16s are doing night flights right now too, so that's also really cool as well. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do what you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.